Hello and welcome to the channel. Welcome to a TEW 2020 experiment here, where we will be looking at what would have happened if the Elite had signed with WWE. We are here today starting Monday, week 1, December 2018, and as I'm sure we all know, it was a 1 month later, the 1st of January 2019, that All Elite Wrestling was born, and All Elite Wrestling, AEW, has gone from strength to strength. I'm sure we can all agree over the years. Incredible matches, incredible roster. But things could have been very different. You see, before AEW was formed, WWE put in big contract offers to 4 members of the Elite, to the Young Bucks, to Cody Rhodes, and Adam Page. They turned them down, obviously. They started AEW, and the rest is, as they say, history. But what would have happened if they didn't turn them down? That's what we're going to look at today. First of all, as you can see, NXT here. If I click on the roster, you'll see that man, Adam Page. They said he was offered big money. He would start on NXT as one of the big names, and so that's where I put him. I put him in NXT. All of the Elite members work as babyface because I think they'd all be cheered if they go to WWE. Cowboy gimmick, legendary. How is he going to fare in NXT when we skip a year forward? Will he be NXT champion? Will he still be on NXT? Will he have been called up to the main roster? I think that'll be really interesting to find out. NXT, just to give you a little idea of the state of it at the time, the NXT North American champion Ricochet and the NXT champion Tommaso Ciampa. How will he fare against those guys, and guys like Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano as well, all around there? A very strong roster for NXT at the time. I'm interested to see how Adam Page fares if he does stay on NXT. And then going to WWE, looking at the roster, the 3 big names we're focusing on here. First of all, you go down and you see Matt Jackson of the Young Bucks. Of course, the Young Bucks, one of the best tag teams in the world. How will they get on? Because Matt Jackson, of course, joined by Nick Jackson. How will the Young Bucks manage in WWE? Getting to square up with people like the New Day, like the Usos, so huge names in WWE's tag division. We'll see how they get on. And of course, the other man in this experiment, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has been in WWE before, obviously. Looking at his title history, 6 tag titles in WWE, 2 Intercontinental titles. Will he add to that? Will he finally become a world champion in WWE during this experiment? I'm really interested to find out how all 4 of these men get on, because you gotta remember, WWE at the time, a different space. I mean, Dean Ambrose is still here, for God's sake. So how will they all manage to fare? Looking at the title scene in WWE at the time, to give you an idea, the Young Bucks going for tag title gold, probably. Raw tag champs, the Authors of Pain. SmackDown tag champs, The Bar, Cesaro and Sheamus. So will the Young Bucks be able to manage either of those 2 big, brutal tag teams? Whilst Cody Rhodes, the title's available to him, US Champion Nakamura, Intercontinental Champion Seth Rollins, Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion Daniel Bryan. 4 huge names Cody could square up against to go for gold. Will he be able to get any more WWE Championship glory into his resume? Will he finally win the big one in WWE? We'll find out. I'm going to simulate forward now to Monday, week 1, January 2020. Going to go just over a year in the future, so we get the year-end awards as well, and then we'll come back and answer the question, what if the Elite had signed with WWE? And here we are, just over a year later, Monday, week 1, January 2020. The Elite have been in WWE since December 2018, I think, so just over a year. Looking at the awards here, Wrestler of the Year, Hiroshi Tanahashi. None of them won that, but still, I mean, against Hiroshi Tanahashi, I don't think there's any shame in that. Company of the Year, New Japan Pro Wrestling, no shame in that. Team of the Year, the Young Bucks. That's a good sign, I think. Them winning Tag Team of the Year hopefully means they did very well over in WWE. Match of the Year, Okada, Tanahashi. And Show of the Year, New Japan Pro Wrestling Invasion Attack 2019. Just from the awards, hopefully a good sign for the Young Bucks. God knows how Cody and Adam Page got on. Let's have a look at the Young Bucks first, then, I guess. WWE, looking down the list, going to the roster, and well, Adam Page has popped up first. So let's have a look at Adam Page. And looking at Adam Page, I can see a few things. I can see that he is a heel. I can see that he's no longer a cowboy. He's cocky, and it's a legendary gimmick. He has hot momentum, and the key thing here, I think, he is the United States champion. Adam Page clearly not lasting long over on NXT. Called up to the main roster, and he's got championship gold. Looking at his title history, he's been United States champion since the end of July, so he's held that belt now for what? Just over 5 months, 8 defenses. Flying over in WWE. How long was he in NXT for, I wonder? Looking at his match history. Clearly not long, because by January he was already on SmackDown. 30 matches, 21 wins, 9 losses. WWE Championship match at Elimination Chamber only a month after being called up, losing to Daniel Bryan in a triple threat match, also with Dean Ambrose. And then another WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank featuring Cody Rhodes. A little preview maybe, Cody Rhodes in the WWE title picture as well, a good sign for him. Both of them and the Big Show losing to Daniel Bryan in that though. And then winning the United States title a month later at Extreme Rules, beating Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler to win it, and holding it ever since, beating Samoa Joe, beating Elias, Jeff Hardy, the Big Show, Zack Ryder, Funaki, Adam Page, doing really well here. Highest match rating as well, 86, good match. John Cena and Cody Rhodes defeated Daniel Bryan and Adam Page. Cody Rhodes, the second best performer there with 78 as well. Good for him. Adam Page, doing really well in WWE actually, immediately called up pretty much. United States champion. He was in that WWE title picture for quite a while. He's had some great matches. Adam Page, very successful here in WWE, clearly. And then the Young Bucks. Matt Jackson, working as a heel on Raw. Did they just turn them all heel? Currently holds Raw Tag title with, I will assume, Nick Jackson, yes. I'll have a look at their title history. It's much longer than Adam Page's, so I'll have to scroll. They won the titles in October, so they've held it for just over 2 months. 7 defenses. They're defending them very, very regularly. Looking at match history for Nick Jackson, because I assume it will be the same. 15 matches, 13 wins, only 2 losses. They started off a bit slowly there. 1 match in January, 1 match in February, and then they didn't wrestle till May. But going on there, it went into August and October, and they had their only 2 defeats to Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio. What a random team that is. But then, in October, they beat Breezango for the belts, and since then, they've had some, what I assume would be great matches with the Usos for them, and the New Day, and then most recently, retaining against Jeff Hardy and Bray Wyatt, another weird little team there, which kind of weirdly in my head does make sense for some reason. But still, the Young Bucks having a good time of things here. Only 2 defeats, and those defeats to Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, kind of understandable. Highest rating, 85. The Young Bucks versus Seth Rollins and Finn Balor, which does sound like a banger, to be fair, honestly. But yeah, the Young Bucks in WWE, doing well. You can't argue with that. Raw Tag Team Champions, hardly lost, and when they lost, it was in a match with Randy Orton and Rey Mysterio, so kind of understandable there. Absolutely flying. And then the final man here, Cody Rhodes, working as a heel on SmackDown. Same brand as Adam Page, of course. The only member of the Elite not to have any championship gold here. Has he won any throughout the year? No, he has not. Cody Rhodes, no championship gold, but we saw when we looked at Adam Page, he was in a WWE Championship match at least. So let's have a look at his match history. Cody Rhodes, a lot of matches. I have to bloody well scroll for this one. 59 matches, 37 wins. We go down to it. Cody Rhodes, his second match with the company was for the WWE title, losing to Bryan in January on an episode of SmackDown, and then they fought again at Royal Rumble, Daniel Bryan winning that one as well. But in his first month back in WWE, Cody Rhodes with 2 WWE Championship matches, clearly doing very well. Clearly WWE wanting to utilize him as much as possible right away there. And then going forwards, random matches, big tag matches with John Cena and Dean Ambrose and Jeff Hardy, again wins in those. And then, whoa, Daniel Bryan defeated Cody Rhodes to retain the WWE title at WrestleMania. I'm going to back out quickly there because I just want to check. Was that the main event of WrestleMania? WrestleMania 35. It was. Cody Rhodes fought for the WWE title in the main event of WrestleMania. He came up short against Daniel Bryan, but I mean, in his return to the company, 3 WWE title matches within 3 months, including fighting in the main event of WrestleMania with Daniel Bryan. he lost that, but understandable. Daniel Bryan, incredible. Cody Rhodes clearly doing very well here in his return to WWE. We'll just go back to him now. Continued looking at his match history. Where were we? We were at WrestleMania. Going on from there, floating around, fighting people, losing to Lars Sullivan on NXT for some reason. Another WWE title match with Daniel Bryan at Backlash where he came up short. Daniel Bryan defeating Cody Rhodes 4 times in singles competition for the WWE title, but Cody Rhodes clearly WWE seeing him as a main eventer following his return. We had that Money in the Bank WWE title match loss that we saw earlier, the Fatal 4-Way with Adam Page and Big Show. And then for quite a few months, not much between June and October, just a variety of matches, picking up wins, singles matches, tag matches where he's with John Cena, where he's with Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton reforming for a little bit there. And then you get to TLC at the end of October, where they fought for the WWE title again. Dean Ambrose, the WWE champion at this point. Fatal 4-Way, Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles, Samoa Joe and Cody Rhodes. Sounds like it would have banged, to be honest. But Dean Ambrose retaining there. And then on a SmackDown a few weeks later, they did it again, but this time without Samoa Joe, just Dean Ambrose, AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes. Also sounds like it would bang for an 85, a really good match. And then final pay-per-view of the year, Dean Ambrose, Cody Rhodes, Triple H for the WWE title. A lot of story there. Dean Ambrose and Triple H have had beef in the past, obviously. Cody Rhodes loves to take the piss out of Triple H and, homages and stuff, the smashing of the throne and all that. So a lot of beef playing into this feud, you imagine, to end the year as Dean Ambrose retained the WWE title at Clash of Champions. But overall, Cody Rhodes had a good run of things here. 8 WWE title matches, including fighting in the main event of WrestleMania. He lost all of them, but still, WWE clearly seeing him as a main eventer following his return, clearly having the confidence to push him into that upper echelon. A lot of faith in him there. I don't think you can try to argue that WWE didn't utilise the Elite here. Adam Page, US champion, the Young Bucks, Raw Tag Team champions, Cody Rhodes, main event of WrestleMania, always in that WWE title picture, fighting alongside Orton and Cena in that realm of superstar. Just looking at the Power 500 here to get an idea for how they're doing, and as you can see, Cody Rhodes, number 6. Cody Rhodes ranked the 6th best wrestler in the world. He had a hell of a year, so I don't know if you can really argue with that. Adam Page ranked number 12, also a hell of a year, US champion, had a WWE title match in there as well. 12th best wrestler in the world according to this. A really good year for him. And Matt and Nick Jackson coming 19th and 20th respectively, Raw Tag Champs, only 2 defeats. A really good year for them as well. And overall, in response to the question, what if the Elite went to WWE instead of starting AEW? The Elite doing amazingly. WWE using them really well, I think. The Young Bucks as your Raw Tag Champs makes sense. Adam Page as the US champion, making sense, doing well. Had a WWE title match as well. Maybe lose that US title at some point and push him up to that WWE title picture. And Cody Rhodes, 6th highest ranked wrestler in the world. Keeping him in that WWE title picture, main event of WrestleMania. Utilising him a lot, clearly seeing him as a big star they can put in those big matches, to have those big fights and those big moments. All of the Elite going to WWE here, working out pretty well for them in the end, but that is it for today. I do hope you have enjoyed this TEW2020 Experiment video. If you've enjoyed the video, then feel free to check out the other TEW2020 Experiment videos on the channel. If you have any requests for experiments you'd like to see done, then leave a comment down below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.